I'm over here at the Radian6 party. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Chris Ramsey from Radian6.
Oh, okay, Radian and what? Vesela, okay.
You get to do,
I put this up on my blog.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
Are you going to do some video interviews?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. You know, I was over at the social media business school yesterday. They invited me over there.
Yeah?
Yeah. That was actually interesting. I was there all day, and I filmed a lot of the first couple of metric sections, had a metric section to put up on my next school. About what they're doing and metrics and social media as well. Anyway, I don't even know what this camera's showing. But we'll wait for the presentation to go on. Chris and Vasilov. Okay, it's Obama versus a McCain, right? Because that's the one I've been playing with. I've been trying to play with that, but like, I'm not sure what to do with it. That's the problem. I don't know what to do. Once I'm looking at it, I think, okay, so this is great. Now, if I was a brand, I would know what to do, right? But what do I do with it if I'm not a brand? Yeah, that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out, how there would be a way to do search with it. Like, how to get this for
I guess it comes down to what's your business objective for doing that kind of monitoring, right? In social media.
No, but I don't know what your name is. Good. What is it?
I'm glad to hear you're enjoying yourself and that you made this wonderful climb up 3 flights. So thank you very much. As I've been saying, welcome to Mount Everest. I'm Mary Buhay with the Public Relations Society of New York, and I want to welcome you to Technology Thursday. That's being sponsored by Radian6. And tonight we have our host here, Chris Ramsey, who is Vice President of Business Development for Radian6. We're first going to do our drawing, so hopefully you're able to put your business card in here.
I'll try and just take about 15 minutes here and not take too long so we can all get back to eating. We have more food coming, get more drinks. But basically what we do is I'm with a company called Radian6, and I'll try not to stand in front of anyone. And what we do is we build tools for communications professionals that help you with brand monitoring in social media. Okay, so if you think about traditional brand monitoring that companies do and agencies do for their clients, it's all about like who's talking about me and my brand and where is it being mentioned in like TV and radio and print. So we do that, and we do it for social media, which is blogs, forums, YouTube videos, Twitter, all the chaos that's going on online. And just to show of hands, how many people are with an agency here? And what they're seeing, what they're struggling with, and I'm sure a lot of you are seeing this, is that there's a revolution happening in communications and in influence and in power in terms of, who has control of a company's brand. And what we're seeing today is that, any individual out there with a blog or on Twitter or on YouTube can have more power and more influence than a company's $50 million marketing budget. And there's nothing they can do about it with the $50 million. And that's kind of what's causing this big disruption in communications. And what we're seeing is we're seeing companies try to understand, first of all, how do I know what's being said about me online? How do I know who's saying it? And how do I know how influential they are? Is it a 9-year-old in his basement, or is it someone who's got 10,000 followers on their blog and has 1,000 comments every time they mention anything on their blog? And then how do I go out and actually engage with them online and try to deal with that a little bit? And some of the examples we're seeing are like if you look at what happened with Dell over the last couple of years. So there was this big thing that happened. Who knows about the whole Dell L story?
Yeah, burning laptops.
Yeah. So there's this big thing that happened with Dell where their customer service was sort of going down. And then one day, this really influential journalist who also happens to have a blog got fed up, and he says, you know what? I'm just going to rip them in my blog. And he published a blog post that said Dell Hell, and it said I'm in Dell Hell. And he went out and he laid out all the problems. So. And that kind of went viral online, and it was like throwing gas on a fire for Dell. It just got out of control. But what they've done since then is they really turned themselves around to the point where if you go out in, like Twitter or on a blog or in a forum, and if you actually type, I'm I'm having a problem with my Dell laptop, submit. Anywhere on the internet, you'll probably get contacted within 15 minutes by Dell. So they've gone from Dell Hell to monitoring their brand in social media with a very aggressive engagement strategy that's got nothing to do with trying to sell computers. Like, they will never go try and sell you because you said you're about to buy a computer. So if you're having problems with a Dell, you'll get contacted like that. Okay? And that's kind of what we do in terms of enabling. Colors are kind of a bit off on the screen, but we should be okay. So what our system is, it's a web-based tool that, you know, all you need is a browser to go ahead and get access to it. And what it lets you do is put in what you need to track. So it could be your brand, it could be your executives, it could be you. In this case, it's going to be presidential candidates. And I've left Hillary in there just for kicks, because it's kind of fun to still have 3 in there. But the point is, there's tons of stuff going on out in social media. How do you track it all? Okay? And that's what this technology is all about. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to
same thing in my access to Radian6.
How do I actually tell this system that I want it to go track presidential candidates? Okay? And to think about that, the first thing you got to think about is, if you were just going to go do that on the internet, how would you do it? And how complicated would it be? Well, here's what you'd do, right? You'd go to Google or Google Blog Search, and you'd type in Hillary Clinton, and you get some results. And then you type in Clinton and President, and you get those results. And then you type in Hillary and President, you get those. And then you do the same for Barack, McCain, and it gets too complex to manage very fast. Because then you have to go to Technorati and do it, and then you have to go to YouTube and do it, and then you have to go to all these different sources and do it. Okay? So this system here has what's known as a crawler on the back end, which is going out every couple of minutes and doing all those searches for you across all the different sources, and anything that's new brings it back into the system in real time, okay, within a couple of minutes. So I put in keywords for John McCain and Barack and McCain and President, so I put them all in to my keyword section here. And just by virtue of the fact that they're in there, our system right now, as we're standing here, is going out and it's looking through everything, and if it finds anything, it's going to bring it back immediately. Okay? So some other things that start complicating tracking your brand online are, you know, you only speak English, you know, or Spanish or French perhaps, and if you're tracking a global brand, there's tons of stuff in 100 different languages out there, right? And it's all noise that really just bogs you down. So you can tell the system, you know, I only want to see content that is in specific languages, and, you know, furthermore, you know, if I'm tracking, again, a global brand on the United States, I only want to see the stuff that's from the United States. Or if I'm in Germany, I only want to see the stuff that's actually coming from Germany. I don't care about all the German content from the United States. So anyway, there's all these complexities to actually trying to do this manually that make it almost impossible to do with people the bigger the brand gets. Okay? So you load all this in, and now, you know, the system's actually tracking all of this. And then if we go out to kind of the main interface for the users, what we see is that it's what we call a dashboard. Okay? So it's not like Google where you just put all this stuff in and you get this big long list of stuff that you then have to sift through. It gives you everything from on the left, you know, show me everything that's matching those keywords as it matches, so it brings it all back in real time. So that's just a stream that'll flow through that widget, as we call them. And then when we get into the middle, we can start doing things like, you know, on the top here we have, okay, show me the share of voice between the 3 candidates, and show me how it's trending over time. Mention Hillary Clinton, but don't mention the other 2 candidates. Or mention Barack McCain, and don't mention the other 2 candidates. Okay? Now, one of the things that we really focused on when we designed the system, and we worked heavily with agencies and PR pros while we built it, was the fact that it needed to be really interactive and real-time and self-serve. Okay, and all that means is that, you know, as a PR professional who's trying to track things as they're happening, you can't have to pick up the phone and call a company like Radian6 and say, okay, well, it's not quite doing what I need it to do. We kind of have to tweak it this way. You know, let's take a couple of